Hello and welcome back to Fallout 76. Today I want to have a look at the Gauss Minigun. Since Minerva has the plan for sale this week, I'd like to figure out if it's worth your gold. This is a gun that I tried out 3 years ago when I was brand new to the game and it was a brand new weapon, and I wasn't all that crazy about it. But there's actually a good reason for that. I wasn't a heavy gunner. I had no heavy gunner perks, I wasn't using power armor, and I was trying to use this in VATS, and it doesn't fit any of those things. So I think the time, since Minerva's got it, I think the time to have a second look is now. Now this is a weapon that I don't really have a lot of knowledge about, and I don't have experience with. I really only tried it that one time, and it's been 3 years. I haven't touched one since. So the way I've modded it may not be the perfect way, but it looks like the right way, or at least it looks like a way that will work. Now the barrels that we have to choose from, there's 3 different ones, and I went with the standard barrel. The difference in damage isn't much. I mean, the Penta loses a little bit over the tri-barrel and the standard barrel, but the other two have a fire rate that's faster. But it already has a fire rate over 100, which means if you have a fire rate too fast, what can happen is you end up using up more ammo than you need to kill enemies. I mean, they'll be dead and you're still firing because your fire rate is so high. And I do think it's weird that in the modding menu, the appearance is in the middle. It's usually at the end, but I don't have any skins for this, so that's what we're going with. Now, as far as capacitors go, I went with the Prime just because it does the most damage. I am on a custom server, so I can actually, this doesn't cost me anything to craft the ammo. But if I was actually doing it on a live server, I don't know what I would do. If I wasn't using Prime, I would go with a Tesla coil. It does a little less ballistic, but the energy damage kind of equals things out. The reason people typically go with Prime is because when you craft ammo, you can craft a whole lot more for the same amount of resources. In the past, 2mm, Ultrasight 2mm actually weighed twice as much as regular 2mm, but that has been fixed at some point. I'm not sure exactly when, but that has been fixed. So they weigh the same. So there's no carry weight penalty to go with Prime. So that's the way I'm going to test it. But I think you'd see similar results, whatever they turn out to be. I don't know what we're going to see, but whatever they turn out to be, I imagine you'd see similar results if you went with Tesla coil capacitor over Prime. And I plan to use it in third person, so I didn't see any point to putting a sight on it since that's not really going to help me playing in third person. And when I rolled this, I was just going for something that would give me some sort of damage boost. So I ended up with a Mutants with faster fire rate. It's obviously not top tier, but it will give me a little bit of a damage bump over a standard one. Now, as far as the build goes, I have all the heavy gunner perks maxed out, along with Tenderizer for extra damage, Stabilize for armor penetration, Bloody Mess for a little bit of extra damage, One Gun Army with a chance to stagger and cripple, and Ricochet for a little bit of defense. Now, the downside of playing in third person is I'm usually pretty bad at hitting things, so that is the downside. Oh, okay. Well, one thing I do like about this weapon, I do like I like how it looks and I like how it sounds. I think that's a lot of fun. And it seems to get the job done. It seems like it's definitely more powerful than a regular minigun by quite a lot. Oh, okay. Lucky me, there's no cultists here. Yeah, this the light show's great, although it does kind of blind you when you're shooting the target. So, yeah, I could see that being an issue where they're, maybe dead and you don't realize it because you can't see them. The only thing you can look at is maybe your experience bar in the middle of the screen. So when you get the XP pop up, then you know that you killed something. I like this so far. The spin up is actually not too bad. I'm not usually crazy about spin up weapons in general. So I don't tend to use them. If I'm a heavy gun, I tend to prefer things like a 50 cal or a LMG, something like that. Just because I don't like the spin up. But I do like how this weapon sounds. I don't like the third person camera, which has nothing to do with the weapon, but wow, the light show is cool. It sounds cool, it looks cool so far. The plan for Minerva, I believe, is 563 is what it's going to be, and she's going to be here, I think, tomorrow. Obviously, depends on when you see the video, but she'll be here on Monday. It looks like we've got a cultist up ahead. And she will only have the plan for the gun. She won't have any of the mod plans. Those are still at, I think, Mortimer in Crater is the one that has them. Yeah, these things are so tanky. Doesn't matter what you shoot it with. It just, it just takes a lot of ammo. I don't know. They must have like 10 million health. But yeah, this is fun. I'm actually really liking this so far. This is a lot of fun. Plus with 500 rounds, you're not reloading a whole lot. I mean, it actually does decent damage. But so far, this is the kind of gun that makes me want to look for things to shoot. I mean, that's really how it feels. I try this out and go, I mean, I like the look of the light show. I like the sound of it. Yeah, it looks really neat. And it just makes you want to use it more. Which is a good thing, right? Anything in the game that adds to the fun factor. And it kills stuff just fine. Oof. My aim isn't the best. I don't use mouse and keyboard, so... And I'm not aiming. I mean, for the most part, I'm just doing the hip fire thing. Actually seems to work better for me if I aim. I do worse. But since I did prime this, I figure I might as well test it against Scorched and Scorch Beast. Let's see. Yeah, my aim is terrible. Alright. Looks like I walked in the middle of battle. Okay, we got robots that are kind of getting in the way of things. They were not invited, so let's... wow. Yeah, this thing is fun. I like this gun a lot so far. This is pretty neat. I might actually roll one on a regular server to use. Alright, so let's... I mean, I do have Tormentor, so in theory, there's a chance that could force him to land. Oh. The one downside I could see when they're up close, like that, the light kind of will reflect back at you a little bit. So people who are sensitive to flashing, I could see that being an issue. I mean, it doesn't bother me, but I know it could bother somebody else. If flashing lights are prone, you know, if you're prone to headaches from that, I could see that being a problem. All right, let's see how we do against something like a Mirelurk King or a Mirelurk Queen. Well, not or, both. Of course, we always have these Blood Eagles that are kind of in the way of things. But they are always quick work. Mirelurk Kings, they are just tanky. No matter what you're using, they are tanky. Or at least in my experience. I'm sure there's something that works great against them, but... those flashing lights, yeah, I could see that being a real problem for some people. Because the enemies will get close to you. I didn't even have to throw a grenade to get her to wake up, so that's cool. This actually has pretty decent hipfire accuracy. I'm sure stabilized helps a lot, but, you know, without aiming at all, other than just pointing my body in that direction. All right, that went pretty well. He does not seem to want to wake up, so let's give him a little poke. There we go, wake up. All right, let's see how we do now that he's away. Okay. That's one thing I don't like about the spinny weapons. You get staggered and, yeah, because of his attack, he kind of, he can be tough to get consistent shots on. But, there we go. Still took me quite a few rounds. And I used up, so in that little run that I just did, I started with 4,000 rounds. So, what's that, 3345 I used? So, I used quite a bit of ammo for that little run. So, is the Gauss Minigun worth your gold? Well, if you're into heavy guns, I absolutely believe that it is. Even with all the mods, if you decide to buy all the mod plans, it's only going to cost you around 1,000 gold, which doesn't really take all that much time to get. And this gun is a lot of fun. The big caveat to it is that it does chew through ammo rather quickly, which is the case of other, you know, like a regular minigun. So hopefully when the next update comes and contextual ammo drops, that'll help out quite a bit. But at the moment, yeah, hopefully you have the resources to craft the ammo. But this gun is a lot of fun. I really like it. I definitely think I'm going to add it to my arsenal in a regular world. I'll spend some modules to try and roll a good one. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this gun overall, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit one of the buttons down below, and I hope you'll join me in the next one. Thank you very much.